Mario's a pretty good guy. He's an athlete, a kart racer, a party guy, a great brother to Luigi, a mass murderer, and a hero to Princess Peach in the Mushroom Kingdom. Wait, go back just a second. Yeah, right there. The part where he brutally destroys his enemies. Let's focus solely on that part and ask the question, how fast can you defeat an enemy in every mainline Mario game? Well, let's find out. So for each of the games, time starts on the frame that you can press buttons to control the game, whether that be moving Mario or clicking through a text box. Time ends on the frame that an action to defeat an enemy is completed. If there's an unskippable cutscene or text box, it will be cut from the final time, but I'll leave in the ones that you can skip since you're still in control. With that short explanation out of the way, I wanted to thank my friend Dino Rocks316 for suggesting this idea. He makes some really funny videos, so make sure to check out his channel and subscribe if you enjoy his content. So we'll be going through the games from fastest to slowest, and the game that takes the shortest amount of time to defeat an enemy is Super Mario Land. This is it. That's the run. Riveting. There are a few more that are just as simple and boring as this, those being Super Mario Maker 2, Super Mario Bros, and Super Mario Bros 3. After that, we get to one that is actually interesting, Super Mario Bros 2 Japan. At first I thought I could defeat this piranha plant with this Koopa shell before I realized that the Koopa shell for some reason phases right through the piranha plant. Next I jumped over this piranha plant over to these Goombas, which was fast, but I was a little bit disappointed that I couldn't defeat the Goomba straight after jumping over the piranha plant. That's when I remembered that Luigi could jump higher and also accelerate slower, so we have to jump over this paratroopa. And now we can jump straight onto the Goomba, which makes us faster than with Mario. What's crazy is that Luigi died on the exact frame that I stomped on the Goomba. Wow. Super Mario Bros 2 USA has you falling down onto this Shy Guy, picking it up and throwing it at this other Shy Guy, which makes this the only game where we defeat two enemies at the same time. Super Mario Maker has us creating the Goomba that we defeat. I brought him into this world and I can take him out of it. Super Mario World has this Koopa without his shell on, sliding right into the perfect spot for Mario to crush him. Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins, and New Super Mario Bros. U are very short but also very painful for these poor Goombas. Super Mario Run is probably the most boring one because you don't even need to hold right to move, you just tap the screen right when you come to the Goomba. Next we got the rest of the New Super Mario Bros. Games, with New Super Mario Bros. Having absolutely nothing to talk about other than the fact that there's absolutely nothing to talk about. New Super Mario Bros. 2 actually does have something to talk about because this is without a doubt the most difficult run. You see, this is the first Goomba and he's being protected from aerial attacks because of this annoyingly placed blue semi-solid. Now I could just wait for this Goomba to stupidly walk out of his protection or go to this Goomba who's just a little bit farther away, but that's no fun, so I wanted to figure out how to defeat this Goomba while he's still protected. The easiest way I found was to put my middle finger on the X button to run and then put my index fingernail on the edge of the B button so that I can press it and slide it off as quick as possible so that I don't jump too high. By doing this, I got that pesky Goomba. Hooray! To follow up this awesome run, we have New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is pretty boring. Super Mario 3D Land has us going over this bridge to stomp this Goomba, and Super Mario 3D World has Blue Toad, who we pick because he's the fastest character in the game. Super Mario 64 is a somewhat difficult run because we have to long jump to the bridge and then land right on the edge so that we don't trigger the time-consuming cutscene with Lakitu. It's a pretty precise jump, but it's manageable. Next we just need to go into Bob-on Battlefield and football tackle this Goomba. Super Mario Sunshine makes us dive over to Flood and then dive back to this Proto-Piranha, who we spray in the mouth 3 times to defeat. Also, why won't this piranha just keep his mouth shut so that Mario doesn't spray him with water? In Super Mario Bros. Wonder, we're gonna pick Yoshi, and you'll see why soon, but for now the game starts out with an area that doesn't have any enemies to defeat, so we have to quickly run through it before going into 1-1. Here's where we find this helpless sleeping Goomba, who we lick with Yoshi's tongue to save around half a second. Super Mario Odyssey is next, and this is easily my favorite run to do, because after zooming into Mario's Kirby Tushy, we buff for a spin jump to quickly pound onto the floor to start a speedy roll. A spinning ground pound is quicker than a regular ground pound, so that's why we do it. After rolling over these small hills, we dive onto the bridge and roll to Cappy. We roll some more, do some fun jumps over here, pull the switch to raise the bridge, roll on that same bridge to get over to these yellow micro Goombas who we throw Cappy at. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is next, and this one is basically just long jump for 2 minutes the game. We long jump our way through until we get to the first planet, where we long jump over this fence, let gravity work its magic, to then stomp on this Goomba. And the game that takes the longest time to complete is Super Mario Galaxy. Yes, it's crazy. You probably didn't guess it, or actually you probably did because it's the only game left. But anyways, this game is a lot more interesting than Super Mario Galaxy 2. First off, we collect as many star bits as we can with the pointer, so that when we're trying to find these bunnies, we can shoot star bits at them to stun them, so that it's a lot quicker catching those little rascals. After snatching up all of them, we talk to Rosalina and then go to the first planet, make sure to dodge that Luma so you don't get stuck in a text box, and then spin attack the Micro Goomba, who is actually pretty big. Why is he called Micro? I don't even know. Well, I hope you've enjoyed witnessing Mario's heinous crimes. You can watch the full video of all the runs in the description. Try to see if you can beat any of my individual times, or if you want to see if you can beat the combined amount of time for all of the games, then that number is 9.2, or more precisely 9.196, which just so happens to be the amount of time that Mario would spend in jail times 1,000 if he was ever charged for his crimes. Although, to be honest, it's probably a lot longer than that, but don't worry, because 1 like equals 1 less year that Mario's in jail!